Learning something new every day. Unsupported resolution. And how did that happen now? This is also different. Live is in critical condition. You need to change the video resolution. The current resolution is... Oh, how do I do that? Currently is that, which is not supported for this configuration. The expected video resolution, the should be, it's always a should be, should be 1280/72. And where do I change that at? It's always something. Let's see. Can I just click there and change it here? Possibly. Add a resolution. Scale to 100% workshop. Life is wonderful if you like being irritated. So how is it that I cannot undo that? How about this? Can I click that? No. Add a resolution. I can't click that. This changeable? No. Didn't think so. Let's see. Don't want to split mode. I just want to click on this. Why can I change it? I get so tired of being irritated. Annoying. Let's see. I'll click here and color, layout. Now that says the resolution is, hold on, something's not right. I'm gonna refresh, see what happened. Didn't change it. Really? Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome to Canadian. Let's see if this is working. That worked. Hello, welcome to Can Angels Fly Tarot Live. As shown in the chat, My name is Nancy, and tonight I'm just doing an Aquarius rambling rant, which I think I forgot to put down. And it is about basically around happiness. That's where it began to spin out from. I find that I am so irritated. I mean, just annoyed. I do my best to try to fight off, negative thoughts and negative feelings. And I got this new thing going on too. And of course it don't want to act right now. Yeah, let's see. Here. Get a little happiness in the room. Hi Zip, how you doing this evening? I'm having this Aquarius rant for 2 reasons. I'm here to complain, to do an Aquarius rambling rant. You see the question posed in the is, are you happy? I find that it's hard for me to maintain happiness because I'm constantly feel like I'm being irritated. Even when I go to get on this doggone stinky old live stream, it irritates me because there's always some type of malfunction or something. And I'm just irritated with it. It seems to me it's like Aquariuses really catch it, but I could be biased because I am an Aquarius sun, as most of you know. I put the little smiley face up to warm up the room, to cheer it up as I go through my complaints. Happiness. Are you happy? Another question. A popular question is, can money buy you happiness? Do you think money can buy you happiness? Or is all that we need, is all that I need, is it love? Is it? For me, I feel like I done lived and learned, and what I've learned is that money can't buy me happiness, but it get real close. It get damn near close. And love is what I would like to have, but it ain't all I need. It get real close. But sustaining happiness is so freaking hard to do. And why is that the case? It's almost like happiness is merely an illusion of some type. Like I was looking around Google for, hi Patsy, I'm up here having an Aquarius rambling rant because I'm irritated, I'm mad, I can't stay happy, and I'm tired of trying. I'm irritated. I'm tired of being irritated. Anyway, I was saying that I was browsing the Google images for an image of money. I asked the question, can money make you happy? And so I wanted to put the little icon up, but I didn't get there. Again, technical issues. And I was like, the little image was cute. A little dollar bill rolled up, and he was flexing his muscle. And he was, feeling himself, the little dollar bill. And I was like, that's not how my dollar bill look. How you doing, Debbie? That's not how my dollar bill look, all big muscles and, feeling itself. Mine is like a little sad face or whimpering face and the muscle down here. Like my chicken fat muscles, like that's how my dollar is. But as long as my money is strong, I have a sense of happiness. I was saying that happiness seems somewhat like an illusion, some type of like magic trick. It just vanishes. It vanishes when my money gets weak and a little flabby arm starts sagging. And like, the other day, I got paid. And not even 24 hours later, I was broke. I was like, what goddamn happened? I'm irritated. I'm irritated. Like I said, I'm irritated. I get on this live, and I do it frequently. Usually it's no problems. I get on here tonight, it's acting crazy, talking about I'm not in the right resolution. I haven't changed anything. It's just like one constant irritation after the other. Did you come here to hear me complain? I hope so, because I'm here to do an Aquarius Rambling Rant because I am pissed off. I'm pissed off because I want to be happy. I want to maintain happiness in my life. And my question is, how do I do it? I try to stay positive. I try to smile. I try to be social and humanitarian. I believe that's what the world needs. But why then can't I maintain happiness? It's fleeting and it's annoying. And then I asked this other question. So I hope you're okay. Sending love and light for you, Nancy. I'm okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm physically okay. I'm not suffering, and that's another thing. I'm not suffering. There's people in this world that are starving. They don't have food. They don't have a roof over their head. They don't have no clothes. They don't have no shoes. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got their good health. I got all of that. And so that's another issue. I'm so narcissistic that I have the sense of entitlement that I should be able to be happy most of the time, the majority of the time. And so again, I constantly like in this irritated space when actually looking at the world at large. I should always, where's that? Be happy, the little happy face. I should be happy. Happy that I do have a roof over my head. I do have food to eat. I'm in fairly good health. My children are healthy and alive and well. The bills are paid. Ain't nothing gonna get shut off. So why can't I hold on to happiness? I should be happy because if somebody asks me for something, I can give them a little something. But yet, my happiness is fleeting. It's really irritating. Anyway, I said I came here to complain, but I also came here for another purpose, and it is to do a shameless plug and to tell you what I got going on. Give me a minute, y'all. I'm working this stuff out. I'm getting good. Give me a minute. Check this out. Let me see. Check that one out. Uh-oh. See? This mother. There. I think that's a little better. Maybe y'all can read that. Let's see. This didn't turn out right. Give me a minute. I want to read this. See, I work so hard, and I have some Virgo energy that's really prominent in my chart. And I try to be very precise and on point. I tell y'all, irritated. And then here, after all that time, I think this thing messed up. Let me see. Yes, it is wrong. What? Is it possible? Insane. It's absolutely insane to me. Let's see. So my question to you, as I mess around with this thing, it don't like me. Oh, right here. That's all I need. Just let me get right here. And how did this get back here? I don't know. Are you happy? Are you capable of sustaining your happiness? This is irritating. I'm going to try it like this. Let me see if it worked, y'all. Mother sucker. Okay. Let's see if it's better. I'm trying to advance myself as far as technology, and that's irritating in itself. Have you ever had to make some changes to your laptop or something and it doesn't come back up easily? So all of this I'm working with, but I'm trying to do better. It says, what is better than Black Friday? Okay, that's a little better. And then it goes on. This is my shameless plug, just letting y'all know. This weekend is better than Black Friday. That's pretty slow, huh? I didn't want it to be annoying while we were talking. Okay, what's better than Black Friday this weekend, which is November 16th, 2018? Why? Why is that the case? Check it out, y'all. I'm messing around with technology. God dang it. See? Y'all see this now. I set everything up before I got started. That's why I'm irritated. I am so irritated. I did not know that I was going to experience more irritation or more irritating circumstances when I went live. I came on here to rant. I don't want to do that. I just want to move it. Oh, I think I know. How about this? Boom. That's why. That's why this weekend of November 16th through the 18th is better than Black Friday, because this weekend I will be offering your full personal tarot reading for half off. What is half off? Well, a normal full personal tarot reading costs $50. Not this weekend. This weekend, it'll be a mere $25, and a full personal tarot reading lasts upwards of 45 minutes. If you are interested, here's my shameless plug. Contact me at my email. My email is canangelsfly1@gmail.com and say, Nancy, I'm ordering my full personal tarot reading, and we will schedule you for this weekend. Now, I must say, let it be known, whomever visits this live or watches this video later, I can only take so many people over this weekend. So it's first come, first serve. So if you email me and don't follow through, I'm just going to send that email to the little trash can. So it's business here today, babies. I love y'all. I thank y'all for y'all support one way or another. Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to stay like this. I don't want to. You stay like what? Stay like what, Debbie? Because that's what I'm fearing if you're talking about happiness. And I mean, I've been to this place where, like I said, truthfully, based on my relationship or based on me just being one of millions of people in the world, I don't sit in the worst circumstances. I know I don't. And I can say, honestly, shame on me. But again, I have this narcissistic tendency, that sense of entitlement. Why? Because I was born in a particular family. Why? Because I'm here in the United States and we live lavishly. And then I sit here and I can't live as lavishly as I like. Then on top of it, I'm irritated by everything. I'm irritated by everybody. I'm irritated by this technology. And again, shame on me. But it's truly how I feel. How can I sustain happiness? Or is happiness truly just an illusion? It's just a temporary projection. I was bringing up the little money symbol with the big old muscles. And I was looking at it, when I was looking at it on the Google search, I was like, heck, yeah, as long as my money, muscles is percolating, I'm happy than the mug. I can go do and buy as I like. And my mind never goes to any dark places. I don't sit back and ponder on things until I find myself in this dark pit, visiting my psyche in a dark night of the soul. I don't want to go there all of the time. I understand it's necessary some of the time, but to consistently have to return there is what annoying. And then, okay, so when my money gets weak and the little muscle just droop down, and again, I can barely make ends meet. I meet them now. That's the key. I meet them. However, it's the stress. It's the struggle. Like I said, I got paid the other day, and here I sit today. I'm broke than a mother sucker. Are all the bills paid? Yes. Glory and honor to all that was in my favor for that. Because there are people now that can't do it. They want to, but they can't. And so again, when it comes to that, shame on me. But I would like to be able to pay all my bills out and then go hang out. I haven't had my hair done and I don't know when, or my fingernails done, or a pedicure. I want to live lavishly sometime. So I'm irritated. Can happiness really be sustained? One thing that I have learned in this physical world, and I learned this in 1999, June 1999, when my mom died. When my mom died, of course, she left her worldly possessions to her children. It was me, I'm the baby, and my 3 older brothers. We all got our allotment. And I remember she left me 2 cars, money, all those kind of things. But I was watching all of these things. I just talked about this the other day. They began to, they begin to deplete. They begin to, I don't know, what's the word? Because when it happened, I was like, wow, I can't think of the word. It was just this, I was watching it dwindle away. And I was like, why is it dwindling away and I'm taking care of it? Why? I'm investing the money well. Why is it dwindling away? After a year or two, why are the cars starting to mess up, dwindling away? And something came to me and said, now, Nancy, you living on a dead person's, resources, just like they left everything in this physical world leaves or depletes or degrades, And so I'm aware of that and understanding that. My question is, can happiness be obtained and sustained in this world? Understanding that all things deteriorate. Everything has its beginning and its end. My money, beginning and end, real close, and then I ain't got my glass on. I don't know if y'all seeing something. Like in a mood all the time, can't get crap to go right. One thing after another. And that's the kind of life I live. And I've always blamed that on being an Aquarius. It's always one thing after the other. It's insane. It seems like the more I put something in order, the more it is disarranged or break down or... You making a video? I'm live. What you done bought? Baby some shoes. What a wonderful auntie. Here go Pearl in the camera again, y'all. She a really great auntie. See, we live lavishly. Baby gonna grow out of these and got 20 pair already. Those are absolutely cute.
Shoes on sale. They only 20.
Oh, that was wonderful. You a wonderful auntie. Go see if they fit on her feet.
That's what I called for. I have to know her size.
Oh, that's what you called for? Okay. Okay. So, the other question that I pose is, I'm trying to make sure that I'm trying to learn how to use this technology in a more detailed way so I can offer more lavish, or sophisticated presentations to you. I announced in the last live stream that I plan on making I have a topic that I want to cover, and that topic I want to create the presentation and have it presented to you ladies and gentlemen in a form of a premiere. That's a new tool. The premiere is a new tool that's offered here on YouTube. And so I said I'm going to go into this XSplit thing and see if I can, learn how to work some things so I can make it fancy and entertaining for you ladies and gentlemen. That's my plan. So I'm just seeing if I've activated everything. I think it did. I don't know. I guess so. The camera's still on. You can still see me, right? I got I took the title down. That's what it is. Hi, Jordan. I'm here complaining and fussing. Because I'm wondering, can I maintain happiness, or is it merely an illusion? I was stating that every time I get to this place of happiness, it seems like it's dissolved by something suddenly. I get paid one day, and I'll put it like this: I get paid in 1 hour, I'm broke in the next hour. I have a smile on my face the first hour, the second hour I got a sad face. I'm Sour Patch. It goes on and on and on and on. I come on here, and then I have technological issues. I'm happy. I'm geeked up. I'm going out. I'm going to promote myself, and I'm going to talk about, some Aquarius stuff, that I'm dealing with, and get on here and have technical issues. And when I get off of here, it's going to be issues here. So I my God, can I be happy? What is keeping me? I can't speak for anyone else but me from being happy. That's the question. YouTube. I'm starting with YouTube. This is an Aquarius rant. Y'all tell me, am I supposed to fuss and cuss on a rant? That I usually don't do it, but I'm pissed off and irritated today. And you say, I blame it on being an Aquarius too. Me too. It's not anyone else around me. I tell you, I try to be unbiased. That's a part of our development and growth. I try the Mercury retrograde. Yeah. I thought about that too, and I just tried to breathe through it, Jordan. I was like, oh. But back to Zip, you know, having an unbiased viewpoint or opinion, an unbiased opinion on whatever circumstance, situation, or people is one of our Aquarius's developmental milestones. And I believe that I've met that developmental milestone. However, I still judge. Some people look at the spirit of judgment as very negative and dark and like a player hater. I don't believe that's the case. You have to be able to judge the circumstance or situation that you sit in. You don't have to broadcast. You ain't got to talk about it or argue like I'm doing right now. But you still have to judge. You have to judge if it's the right call for anything that you're into. You have to judge if that's the right person and if your behaviors or characteristics are compatible. You have to judge. And why am I saying that? Because as an Aquarius, I sit around and I, you know, end up noticing, I'm not just focusing, but I end up noticing that many of the people that are in my intimate life do not have the same challenges that I do. A matter of fact, even though this is a small world, like Jiminy Cricket said, it's a small world, we still have so many varying differences. And I've shared here on YouTube, I am known, you know, in my circle as a very effective person, practical person, responsible person, reliable person, humanitarian. I got some excellent traits, but I also got some messed up traits. I'll tell you, I'm narcissistic. Those kind of things. I know that. But all in all, I am, like I said, I got this Virgo kind of energy that is really active in my chart. And so I put my best foot forward in anything that I do. And even though I do, it's still, I've watched, I have seen, and I've witnessed others just not have to deal with as many barricades, blockages, challenges, resistance as myself. It's insane. And so I'm saying all that because I came to really believe, I was like, hey, it got to be because I am an Aquarius. Even when I read my chart, it's like, I can't say that it's just that I'm an Aquarius, but it seemed like it. It's more or less is because I am egotistical. My ascent is Leo. And so it is offsetting to many. And I pay for that in this physical world. But others that I see that are openly and blatantly narcissistic or selfish, I'm judging. Yes, I am. They don't end up paying the same penalty as myself. But I'm trying not to get stuck on them. I'm trying to figure out how to maintain my happiness. Mine. Are you happy? Are you happy? Patsy, Debbie, Jordan, Zip, are y'all happy? How long are you able to sustain your happiness? Now, I have to say this to be perfectly honest, that in my life, I've gotten to a point where I've been able to be content for long periods of time. But even that's annoying now. Eventually, it seemed like it would be a break. Being content and being satisfied with where one is, and just working toward, sustaining oneself in this physical world. Here go this mother sucker acting a fool again, Mercury retrograde, Jordan. So I don't know if it's glitching. Throw me all off. See, I'm irritated. I forgot what I was saying when it popped up. Anyway, another question that I asked, and something that I noticed is love all that you need? Is it love all that a person needs in order to experience happy, to be happy, and to sustain their happiness? The happily ever after. Is it? I know when I was in love long as it was in the honeymoon phase, oh, I was happy. You know, I was geeked up. I was satisfied. I was more than satisfied. But whenever there were relationship challenges, it was, again, irritating to me. And my happy space it's always been vulnerable. Always been vulnerable. And I understand clearly that a person, mine primarily, happy space or a sense of emotional satisfaction or contentment should not depend on outside forces. I understand that. It ain't supposed to depend on if you got money or if you don't. It's not supposed to depend on if your relationships or your relations with others are going well or not. Happiness, they say, come from within. But I kind of argue that down because there again are people in this world that don't have any food at all. I mean, they are suffering malnutrition. So you're a person, not you, people in general will say, hey, you who are suffering malnutrition, you should be happy. Find something to be happy about. Get the heck out of here. And I bring that up because, again, what is happiness? How can a person in a situation or circumstance like being malnutritious or chronically ill, have happiness when there's no break? I'm just all over the place, y'all. I told you it's a rambling rant. I find myself highly irritated. Don't Aquarians like things in order, organization? Yes, very much so. At least I do. And that's a change that I've seen, Debbie, in myself. If I know that you follow me, I don't know how many of my other videos you watch, but I share how at this point in time I'm realizing that I've gotten older and I don't have as much strength or the ability to endure as I did when I was younger. And one of the traits that I had, again, going back to that Virgo energy, is to be ordered. And there's also that also corresponds to Saturn, the restrictions, the structure. And so I'm governed or ruled or I've been reared by Saturn. And so, yeah, organization always been my thing. Now that I done got older, I don't have the energy. I can look and say, I want that here and there. I'm in a manager's mindset now. But I cannot physically do it anymore like I could. And there's another irritation. Because now that I'm older, I spend long periods of time using my imagination about how something's supposed to be. And so I find it's this disconnect that is happening now that I'm getting older. I ain't getting no dang on younger. And so I'm like, I've been trying to figure out how am I going to deal with my reality as I get older and my ability to function as I have the way I feel like I've been made to function, and I can't do it no more. I'm getting further and further and further from that. And I'm also a person that doesn't find much favor. So that means I'm going to be possibly set in the midst. I'm live.
I'm sorry.
I know I did not. See, I'm going to get irritated. She better be careful. I just might. Ask me, did I spend our money? Not yet. Not yet. But see, they throw me off. That irritates me. Today I had to cancel hair appointment that I have had for months because of ice. Oh, really? But it's crap like this all the time. I'm an Aquarius, all right? Yeah, and that's how I feel. And so when a person like myself gets irritated and I complain, people don't seem to understand. Like I said, I realize that I'm judgmental in the way that I'm judgmental. Others are judgmental as well. And it doesn't make sense to them that somebody can have reoccurring, a series of unfortunate events. I remember when that movie came out, I never saw it all the way through, but it was the title I was kind of fixated on. I was like, now who came up with that title? A series of unfortunate events. That can wear a tear on a person's emotions and psyche and physical body. It's hard to fathom that there are people that exist in this world that live under the scenarios of a series of unfortunate events. So I feel you, Debbie, and that's what I go through. It's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me how I survive and how I'm not insane by now. Because I don't think that it should be any way that a series of unfortunate events can occur. Like you said, you'd have had an appointment set up for months to go get your hair done. And on the day of, not the day before, not the day after, not a week before so it can melt, the day of, all of a sudden it's a terrible ice storm that you can't go out. Otherwise you would be in danger in your life. What's the chances? And so then you have to start again. See, that's some stuff like that will happen to me. And it doesn't just happen sparingly. No, this kind of crap happens every day. I've lived this every single day. I'm going to say almost. A larger majority of days in my life. And a larger portion of each of those days. I'm going to stop short of saying all the time. But it's insane. It's insane. And I've witnessed, when I was complaining earlier about being a witness just to others' progression in this life and the hurdles that they face and how they get over them and the resistance that they face. I have never, ever seen anything like I experienced on others in my physical realm. And the people that are the closest to me be sitting up like, I don't understand. I don't get it. What is going on? And they kind of chuckle and will, just sweep it away because it's unbelievable. Now, Debbie, I don't know if yours is like mine, where it's just reoccurring. I have a lot of people that email me and they make statements like, like, Nancy, hey, you seem really wise. You seem real knowledgeable. You seem smart or whatever, compliment they have to extend to me. And they want to know how. Well, heck, in my little life, I've been through so much that life is the best teacher you will ever have. And for every obstacle or series, the unfortunate events that happened in the series, I had to deal with each and every one of them. And each and every one of them had a lesson. But what ended up happening through that is I have never been able to sustain, here you go, happiness. Where you at? Right there, happiness. And it is fleeting. And so that's why I was just like wondering today, I was like, is happiness even real? It seems like I've experienced it. Oh man, I'd have had some happy moments in my life. I mean, seriously, it's been times that I thought God wanted me to know heaven existed. It was so blissful. But soon and very soon, it gives way to some unfortunate, stupid event. And I'm like, really? And when I look at my overall picture, my life experience overall, I was like, that happiness was just random, here and there. And it was directly, the majority of it was directly related to something outside of myself, like the ability to pay bills and have access in order to enjoy life the way I like to enjoy it, or love in my life, my family, like being all doing well, that so far has stayed consistent, and oh my, how I'm very thankful for it. However, it's just this knowing through having the experiences consistently that just get to kind of snatch the joy right out of my hands. Anyway, let me tell you tomorrow. Sadness comes from past emotional pain. This comes from a major healing. See, I understand that that's an excellent statement. That sadness comes from past emotional pain. Back to that series of unfortunate events. Some were just really annoying. Some were painful. Either way, had to get over it. But that's a lot to compile upon a soul in a physical body. Now, I know everybody doesn't have that type of experience in this physical world. And again, it's very hard to fathom when you're not the one selected for whatever reason to have like that type of experience in this physical world. You think about it. How long until we get to the age of Aquarius? Jordan, I haven't looked at that in detail. I just know that we were slowly progressing into it. And I'm just kind of jumping. Is that it will happen in our lifetime based on it being brought up now, I do believe. But I think we were still like yet not even a full degree, but I don't know because it's been a minute since the age of Aquarius in about 2 years. And so I haven't looked into that, but that's something that I should look into because that itself has a whole nother set of connotations attached to it. If you followed me, you've heard me say that many people think the age of Aquarius is all peaches and cream and the sunflower kiss and happiness, but it is a lot of challenging social construction and all kind of things that come with reform and change, including resistance. And so it suggests a trying time that we are entering into, with the projected final outcome being, a harmonious existence here in the realm, one way or another. Either that harmony can be in the dark energy or under the dark energy, or what it can be in the light. It just depends on what we choose to do here in this world. So, and then when I was on Google, looking at images to put up here as I cuss and fuss because I hate it. I also saw these little smiley faces like the one you see here, but one had a really hard smile, all the teeth showing, and I was like, okay, well, that is symbolic of being elated, beyond happy, just elated. That elated state in this physical realm. I believe I have. Like I said, there's been times that I thought God wanted me to know heaven existed, and so showed me. So being elated, but again, it's temporary. Then there is just the little basic smile here, very symbolic of being satisfied in one's physical, existence. It's okay. And I know it ain't probably making much sense when I go diving in myself. It's a pool of stuff to be dealt with. But it's like either way, it always is fleeting. And I question why. Because it seems like it is an answer or an additional clue to who we are, especially on the soul level. That settles down or levels out too. But it just seems like, are we meant to be numb? Is it just this center vibration that we're meant to to ride. Excuse me, y'all. What are y'all doing playing? I'm live.
Oh, sorry.
What do you want?
I gotta get you another pop from gas station.
Whatever.
You got another lighter?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. That's the one you stole from me.
Excuse me.
You stole this from me.
I'm irritated.
And I can't walk past the baby smoking a cigarette.
Jake, get out.
Bring it back to me.
Just get out.
You know you stole it from me.
Oh, I'm irritated. Nobody cares about me. I told you yesterday I was kissing boo-boos, and next they was going to be treat me like a stepchild. Here it goes again. Same vicious cycle. Irritated. Jupiter and Sagittarius. What will be? What will be? Have any of you thought about this energy from where you stand in your life? Jacob, please lower your voice. Where you stand in your life now, can you foresee where Jupiter and Sagittarius will take you? In your most recent past, you've made choices, whether it was the job that you've done, the people that you've had exchanges with, and Jupiter in Sagittarius allows you to move forward on that expedition in order to gather additional information. And what am I bringing Jupiter and Sagittarius up for? It is because it depends where you are, related to the subject matter here, whether you're happy or, content or just totally discontent or unhappy. That as you move through your experiences, Jupiter and Sagittarius, and you have your experience and you learn the life lessons that you need to learn, that your emotions will change. They have the possibility of changing good to more negative emotions, or negative emotions to more positive emotions. An example could be like if you're in a relationship and you've wanted it to go better and you've tried so much. You've done all that you can do, and you might be to a numb place or a dissatisfied place. But in the unfolding experiences, let's say you may be connected with or dating someone that the reason why your relationship may have been facing blockages is because they may have worked a lot. It was never about they didn't care for you or didn't want to, support you. They just worked a lot. And maybe in past experiences, this is just an example. You share with them, hey, I'm not happy. You may have, again, done various works to try to get you two to have more time together, and it wasn't happening. But in the upcoming experiences and the unfolding experiences, a person's significant other under this particular scenario can say, that they were absolutely right. We don't spend enough time together. I'm always working. I might work 60 hours a week, and I can't do no more. I can't do that no more. And so in the past couple of weeks or months, they've been making adjustments in order to deal with that issue. And so that sense of dissatisfaction or sadness can give way once up to my mind. Once the individual who's suffering that dissatisfaction or sadness due to the relationship not moving forward as they had hoped, that sadness will give away once it is revealed that their significant other addressed the issue, and it opened up more time for them to have with each other. Even the sadness was fleeting. Now, that particular couple that I've offered in that scenario began to have more time to spend with each other. However, the partner that reduced their workload is not earning as much. And so over time, maybe a year or two, the couple begins to notice that it's being more of a challenge or a struggle to pay the bills or to live the lifestyle that they had grown accustomed to when that spouse or significant other was working 60 hours. The stresses come when the shutoff notices come, and a repo comes. And then their happiness, or that person's happiness, is now a sadness or depression. Again, even that emotional state is fleeting. Now, why am I offering that example, relative to my personal Aquarius rant? Is because I'm aware that neither emotional state, there is a variety of emotions. None of them last. None of them are sustainable. Not even depression is sustainable. But my concern is about sustaining. Oh, here you go. My happiness. My happiness. How do we sustain happiness? Is it even possible? Is it even possible? Is it possible that we are supposed to just be in this middle space, this leveled out vibration as we move through life, and our various experiences, remember those outside forces have an impact upon if we're happy or sad. However, and so depending on the life experience that you have, talking about Jupiter going into, God dang it, technology messing with me again. Jupiter going into Sagittarius, which promises us all additional life experiences that will ultimately help us to expand one way or another. As offered by the scenario I gave, one person, the spouse, working spouse, had expanded their workload to 60 hours. And then they shrunk it in order to expand their time to spend with their significant other. And at the same time that they were spending time with their significant other, it also expanded their debt, or their, income to debt ratio, leading to problems. That contraction and expansion of life experiences is what correlates to their state of sadness or discontent and happiness. So I guess the real question I should be asking is, where should we be on an emotional level relative to our experiences in this world? Should we be, the word is monotone. Monotone. And are we capable, am I capable of being monotone? I don't think that would be healthy. But this is just an Aquarius rambling rant. There is no order to it. I'm just complaining. Why? Because I'm irritated. And so I'm venting to my friends here on YouTube. And what you're talking about. When Sagittarius benefits off of something, so do Aquariuses in some way. And Sagittarius is, I do believe I can't speak for all, but what I know in some way, as you mentioned, that Sagittarian energy is beneficial to Aquariuses. Like some of the best associations I've had with others is with Sagittarius. Education is, higher education is under the 9th house of Sagittarius. I have a considerable amount of that. So throughout my life, yes, Sagittarius has been something that has allotted me many blessings. Now, like the 2nd house of Taurus, for some reason, Taurus ain't my friend. It just don't want to give over and come reside with me, But yeah. And again, the Aquarius and Sagittarius sit side by side, so they kind of spill into each other. Yep. And so that monotone state, a child that is starving and malnutrition in some third world country. When you see them on TV, they kind of like, they just disassociated, it looked like, from everything. Time, space, the people around them. Why? Because they're suffering and being tormented. Are they in that monotone state? Is that what where we're supposed to be? I mean, because at that point, you got, it's less than happiness or discontent. That is horror, 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 horror. And I guess that's another concern I have. I guess that's what's real irritant is for me, is that I know that it appears, I'll say, that the energies or the experiences that we are moving into in our near future, as well as our distant future, are not favorable. It don't seem like it from what I'm seeing. It's not favorable to those that cannot sustain their happy space on their own, being self-sufficient. You can't be a person that have a series of unfortunate events over and over again in a new paradigm. You ain't gonna make it. You cannot, again, you have to be able to sustain your happy place. And most people happy places, based on what I perceive, is directly attached to everything outside of them, outside of themselves. Nowadays, it doesn't seem like people are, many people deal with the internal part of themselves, you know, dealing with emotional issues and different things like that. That stuff can lay dormant or unaddressed for a whole lifetime. But our emotional state is seasoned by the company we keep. And when it comes to the company we keep, are these people that you want to be around? If you're around people that you don't want to be around, you could be nasty to them. Again, it's that sense of discontent, as if they're lower than yourself. But if you're with the people that you want to be with, whether they're healthy for you or not, you're like a lot more happier and cheerful and willing to work with them, those kind of things. The new paradigm seems to be surrounding that. And I'm trying to make it make sense. I don't have no order to this rant, but hey, honey, love that rant, the rants. All right, hey, Yoni, how you doing this evening? Yeah, I'm just ranting. I'm irritated. When I say that, I'm like, just tear a piece of paper up. Tear a piece of paper up, make me feel better. Ball it up or something. I don't know. But I do as a human being, not as a tarot reader. Shameless plug time. Shameless plug time. Where I'm at an all-time high with viewing. 5 viewers. If you pay attention, I'm going to go back to the rant in a minute. But if you pay attention, I've been tweaking and messing with and learning this technology. And at the bottom, I have a message for you. And wait a minute, let me see what this is, right? I don't know which one is what. Y'all go ahead and be patient with me now, because I'm trying to learn how to use this even in mid-drift of... I did it again. I'm getting good. Okay. Of a live stream. I would like to be more entertaining and more professional eventually. It says, if you pay attention to the bottom of the screen, I guess you can see it. It says, what's better than Black Friday? Gotta wait. Gotta be patient. It says this weekend is better than Black Friday, November 16th through the 18th. And why is that? It is because I, Nancy, am offering 4 personal tarot readings at half off. So that means that you will receive a full 45-minute personal tarot reading for only $25. I am limited to a set number of people based on the time period of November 16th through the 18th. And so it's first come, first serve. But all you have to do is contact me at my email and says, Nancy, I am ordering my full personal tarot reading, and we will set up a time. And the date could be either the 16th, 17th, or 18th. It's totally up to you as long as a slot is still available. Now, if you email me and you do not follow through, I will, in 24-hour period, I will, throw your email into the little trash can on the side, whatever it's called. Why? Again, there are limited spaces. But I do extend this sale to you. It is better than Black Friday sale, and it is only happening this weekend, November 16th through the 18th. And you may already know, but if you don't, my email is canangelsfly1@gmail.com. If you need any additional details associated with ordering your own personal tarot reading, all you have to do is look below this live stream or any video that I've created in the Show More section. All of the details are there. Another thing I like to make you aware of is the ordering process goes very, very quickly. I get the order, we set up the time and date, and I commence with the reading. I don't let stuff stack up on me. Again, going back to that Virgo energy, I'm very ordered and disciplined, and I move forward, and I don't procrastinate. Physically, I've begun to procrastinate because I done got old. But mentally, I don't procrastinate. And so back to my Aquarius rant. I was trying to go somewhere with it. But of course, I done forgot. But so I'm going to read he said, I've been pissed all day. You've been pissed all day. Who messing with you? Take your time, love. You are good. All right. Thank you. Yeah. I want to be happy. I think most of us just want to be happy. And so I guess my primary concern or question in this live stream is, can we be happy? Is happiness sustainable? Is it a natural, I guess, disposition to be in? Or is it merely just a temporary projection? And a person like myself gets in the rut or irritated because I believe that happiness is sustainable, but it's not. And then I look, because I try to be fair. I'm an Aquarius, unbiased. And I say, well, neither is sadness. It's not sustainable, I don't believe. You don't stay there always, no. Any event or circumstance can happen in your life. Like you could be sad one day, and then later that day or the next day or sometime soon, you end up meeting someone that's just extra special. And they just take the freeze off, the edge off. They take the edge off. It gives you that break. And you have somebody that you can conversate with, socialize with, or whatever you're going to do, make love with. And it seems to make life easier. You can go from sadness to happiness in almost a blink of an eye. Why doesn't it happen more often? Is it because we're not that good to each other? Is it that? Is it our social structure that it's not good for us? Or are we built to be in that monotone space? I'm kind of confused about that. I shared here that I have had long periods of time in which I've been content. I've been okay. But even that got annoying too. Enough is enough. I'm in the physical. I want to live lavishly and I want to enjoy life. And I also understand that each man, woman, and child, no matter what race, nationality, culture, whatever, should have their equal portion. There should be no one suffering. There should be no one suffering from malnutrition or whatever the case. No one that's not eligible for health medical treatment. Everybody can have their portion. If we had a utopia, if we could bring it about and everyone had access to, equal medical treatment, food, to your liking, shelter, would we be happy? I wonder. I really wonder. And I guess my frame of mind has gone here because truly, 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 who am I? As far as, again, am I supposed to be happy? I don't know how to make this make sense. Am I supposed to be happy, or am I supposed to be sad, or I'm supposed to go with the flow and say, okay, I'm super happy today. I'm sad tomorrow. That is a diet. They can diagnose you. We just had somebody on the live stream. That's bipolarism. To swing from happiness to sadness. That's bipolarism. Without just cause. The shift and swing. So, if we move into a new paradigm, it seems that the new paradigm is primarily focused on individuals either receiving like a universal income in the thick of it. Oh no, they done irritated the grandbaby. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Now they done irritated the grandbaby. They know they're gonna make him come out here cussing. They always messing with her. In the thick of the new paradigm, when the whole structure is set up, and we begin to move forward in that structure, it is possible that there will be even less work opportunities than exist now. And why is that? Because technology and automation and animation is taking over. And so they don't need people to do the work anymore, So how then do you get the resources that you need to buy into the natural resources that sustain your life? Well, if there's no work opportunities, then there will have to be a universal income. Everybody gets a portion. Everybody gets to buy in. The only way that a person can come outside of that organized structure is to be self-sufficient. That is to say, you're an entrepreneur. You have some ability or skill another doesn't have that a machine can't replicate. We live in an insane world. Or you are selling a good or a product, something handmade, some knowledge or something that, again, a machine may have but cannot present to a client or a person purchasing in a humane way to have that emotional connection, but they working on it. And why I bring that up, because everybody isn't an entrepreneur. Even if a person is an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that they will find favor amongst the consumers. So looking into the future and seeing that economics, the economy, the flow of money is going to change drastically. And it also, because of that drastic change, they irritate me messing with her. That drastic economic change in the world, it is also going to affect and influence a person's physical, worldly wants and needs, or their ability to obtain what they feel like they need in their life, whatever it may be. Either a person is limited, or they may be an entrepreneur and be successful, so they may have more the potential to partake more in this physical world. Either way, remember, our emotional state is usually a result of the change, in this case, economic change that affects one's physical, worldly wants, needs, and desires, and if they're satisfied, changes our happy space and our sad space. Some people, when they go into a sad space, and multiple things happen there in that sad space. A person can become, not you, some people can become depressed, debilitated through depression and sadness. Some people become, we wonder why people rob, steal, whether steal, kill, and destroy. It is because most likely they are lacking whatever they feel like they need in this physical world to feel secure, grounded, and stable. They're missing it. And so since they can't get it or don't have it, they go out into the world and they perform crimes. They steal, kill, and destroy in whichever manner they do in order to satisfy a need or want in themselves. Sadness is, it's interesting. Again, I'm talking about the emotional spaces that we occupy. And why do we occupy them? Is there that monotone central vibration we could ride? Does it even exist? Or is it part of the human condition for us to just vibrate or be polarized emotionally? Polarized emotionally. And I think that's important for us to know. I know that it's important for me to understand what I'm dealing with. So, because you hear me talk about all the time, I believe in understanding what you're dealing with so you know how to control it. You know how to deal with it. If you dive, a person ends up diving down into that sad space, understanding what that sad space brings, and understanding that it does not have to mean that that is you as an individual. It is a response, a physical response due to the human condition based on your physical, worldly level of satisfaction or not. But then we got this other thing that I've talked about. It's like, I'm not depressed. I'm not unhappy. I'm discontent. I want to go turn up. I'm narcissistic. I got the sense of entitlement. I'm here in the United States, and that's what we do. We live lavishly. I can't do that. I can pay my bills. I can have a roof over my head. I should be happy. I can't. I'm content. No, I ain't content because I'm complaining. But I understand that it is a blessing to be able to do even the basics. Have a roof over your head and food on the table, shoes on your feet and clothes on your back, and your family safe. I know that's a blessing. There's many people that don't have it. So here it is again. Why am I not happy? Why am I not, it's not that I'm not happy. Why am I not being able to sustain my happy space? Why can't I stay there? And I don't know if I'm describing this right. So right now I'm talking about something that just may exist in the spirit, in the spiritual kind of realm, where my channel has to do the relationship between spirituality and physicality. And so in the spirit, does that experience that I'm trying to share reveal where I am truly on a soul level? Now, I did come here to do an Aquarius rant. In order to do it on the subject matter, I had to complain and open up to you. But it is really just like covering this particular subject matter to get us to look at it clearly. That if I'm not suffering, if I'm not malnutritioned, if I'm not physically wounded or hurt or under any true distress of any type, again, got a roof over my head, food to eat, clothes put on my back, and shoes, and of course y'all see I got companionship one way or another, then why can I sustain? Why aren't I happy? What is happiness? Why? When I was in love relationship, why was I happy? Why when my dollar strong and I can go above and beyond the basics in order to go turn up, am I happy in that moment? Why? What is that? What does that say about me as well as this culture that we live in. What is it about us? Is it a soul thing? You know, is it a soul thing? What could that be? You know, what could that be? Do any of you have any ideas what that difference could be? You know, that's some deep stuff. That's deep. Why is it? Anyway, let me go here and look at the... It says the society creates bipolarism. That's what I'm saying. And then, if we, Yoni, live in a... Oh, I didn't even read that. Hold on. Y'all was typing some stuff. I think we can be happy. Boundaries is part of the ingredients. A peace item is everything. And peace is everything. Peace, having peace. But how can you have peace in this world? And see, you're going over in an area that, yeah, is important to cover. Because why are many people not having peace? I did a video about that, a live stream a couple of months ago. Why don't we have peace? And I'm going to come back to that. Well, thank you for sharing that, Yoni. It's the system and cowardice, adults nurturing their sick, empty daily reality. Wow, yes. And the society creates bipolarism. When Pluto and Saturn go into Aquarius, the energy will shift. We'll be living in a utopia society. The structures being established in Aquarius. See, that's the thing, Jordan, where you and I defer. The outcome that will be revealed with that Pluto and Saturn in Aquarius, that outcome is based on our decisions and what we find good and what we say good and what we want established in this world. You know, upon living out our choices, then that system, whether a utopia or whatever the case may be, will be established based on what I'm saying. The energy will shift. We'll be living in a utopia society that benefits the citizens and well-being of us, the people. Will be free to live life as we choose. That would be so nice. What would we choose to do? And see, that's a great question. That statement right there is great, Jordan, because if we had that utopia, what would we choose to do? Understanding that being in this human form, again, we have these variations in emotions. What is this variation in emotion? And is there like, again, what is that? That middle flat emotional vibration? Because, how can I say it? In that utopia, we're still going to be experiencing emotions. We would, like, happiness is the opposite of sadness. And so we live in a duality. And so even in a utopia, who's going to be sad and who's going to be happy and why? Why? And then what does the middle tone, the monotone, look like if it exists? Because if you're in a utopia and we can all live as we desire and peace and harmony, will we all be in this happy state? But as discussed earlier, everything in this world is temporary. Everything degrades. And so, I mean, and I'm not being funny. This is another thing I'm dealing with, is that it almost seems like, and I know this is far-fetched, that this system, this reality is like it's beginning to break down. Right there, what I was just talking about, Jordan, in response to your statement about being in that utopia, is where the whole system, this realm starts to break down. See, I can even understand that emotional variation in a state of hell. I really can. But I cannot see that emotional variation and fluctuation in a state of utopia. That's interesting. I don't know. I might be off on some other stuff. Again, it's a rant. So Y'all know it ain't gotta make no sense. And you say the system is crumbling. You really see? Oh, okay. See, you say you see it too. The system itself is crumbling. It really is. And it's something that's coming up. It's something that's coming up. And when I do the tarot reading and the astrological reading, like I do the astrological readings, the tarot readings help me hone in. It's something that I'm seeing, but I'm not quite sure of. And the one thing that it seems like I'm seeing is that the system is crumbling, but it's not just our physical system that's crumbling too. Our establishments are crumbling. It's something on a bigger scale that actually seems like it's crumbling to me. This reality, whoever created it, whether it was a god or we decided we needed something to entertain us and we as maybe God beings created it, whatever the case is, it almost seems like the system, the cycle is about ran its course, and it just seems like I keep seeing something peeking up, but I'm not catching it. So I'm still waiting. You know, he says, food and shelter and love would be enough with clean air and open space. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Could we be happy? Could we be happy? In that case, like you said, the system is what creates bipolarism and leads to sadness and depression. Why? Because there are just too many irrational demands upon us. You know, just too many. Now, when you share, you say that all you need is some food. Yeah, simple. Shelter, love, and some clean air and space and some water. And that's all you need. Then you can get up and, you know, go about your day learning what you need to learn, interacting with life in order to learn the lessons that you need. But it's no constant pressure or fear that you won't have those bare basics. The bare basics being food and shelter and love and water. Right now, we're living at a time, the way our system is set up, that even in this most powerful country here in the United States, there are people that don't have those things. The basics. The basic life-sustaining necessities. The requirements. Water, air, food, shelter, and a little bit of love. And as a result, people are, like, for instance, a person, like I said, go to work one day, you get your check, you're happy. Finally made it. I made it through a whole nother week. Yeah, I got a check. You go cash your check, you go buy some, you pay your rent or your mortgage, you buy some food for the next 2 weeks or a month, however you know, in increments you buy it. And, you know, you need to get out. You might go to the show because you've been busy working. But then you look down and you ain't have no more money. So guess what? Now your, and not yours, but people's ability to acquire any additional food is gone. It's depleted. When they check out, it's gone. The shelter, bet nothing go wrong. Bet no fires go wrong. Bet no flood basement go wrong. You know what I'm saying? And love, oh Lord, please don't let nobody get stressed out about not having a variety of food or being able to go out consistently or staying in their happy space. And love begins to dissolve, and due to the stressors, the same stressors that lead to sadness and bipolarism and depression are the same stressors that help to deteriorate our love relationships. Well, we don't need that much. We don't need that much. But the world, this system, is set up to make us think that we need so much more. That's what I was arguing about. Hell, I done paid the bills, the lights on, as you can see, the internet on, as you were experiencing. I got some food. I'm fat, y'all can see that. You know, I always got something to drink over here. Usually ain't good for me. But yet I'm not in that happy space. I can't sustain a happy space with just that. Not just those bare basics. Those are necessaries, and I am entitled to that. And not only am I entitled to that, I'm also entitled to be able to go turn up when I want to. At least that's what I think. That's not what I get. And so again, it snatches the happy space away. I don't know if I'm making this make sense as I move forward in rant, in vent, you know. Anyway, I don't even think I finished reading your statement, Yoni. It says food and shelter and love would be enough with clean air. I'm going to inject water and open space. But we are separated from nature, which makes us long to be fulfilled. Yeah, very true, very true. You know, well, I just wanted to come in here on YouTube and vent and rant and, get it all out. And also submit this here shameless plug. And the shameless plug is that I'm going to be going back here again because, y'all, I am so proud of myself learning something new and doing it right. This is the second time around. It says, what's better than Black Friday? Any Friday, getting on work at the end of the day. But in this case, no. This weekend right here, November 16th through the 18th, is better than Black Friday. Why? Because you can order your full personal tarot reading for half off. A full personal tarot reading over this weekend is merely $25. All you have to do is contact me at my email. My email is canangelsfly1@gmail.com. And if you didn't catch that, all you got to do is look below this video or any other video I have ever created in the show more section for all the details. In your email, just say, Nancy, hey, I'm ordering my full personal tarot reading, and we will set up your time and space to commence with your full personal tarot reading. Remember this, make sure that you have time because your full personal tarot reading lasts at least 45 minutes. And so you need to have some time for yourself. Is there anything else? Yeah, one more thing. I ask you all to please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And Jordan says, and final, Uranus in Taurus. Sudden changes to one's quality of life. Transit will bring new ways of maintaining the natural resources. Yeah, I believe that too. Like food, water, shelter, and how we take care of Mother Nature. Yeah. But it still goes back to the spirit of man. Who are we overall? Are we narcissistic, self-interested, business, entrepreneur, tycoon kind of folks, not understanding that, they do understand what real wealth is, that the natural resources are truly the real wealth and needs to be safeguarded and sustained and distributed equally amongst the populace of this earth? Or, that's the catch. You just started something, Jordan. Phone died. I'm back. You back? Okay, well, you back for the closing. Jordan was just sharing how Uranus and Taurus transit will bring a new ways of maintaining the natural resources like food, water, shelter, and how we take care of Mother Nature. And so I was kind of rebuttaling to his statement. And I was just talking about it depends on who we are, what those details will look like. We have a lot of business tycoons, and they don't care so much about like Mother Nature or the natural resources or the state of the water, long as they can get it off. If they can sell you dirty water, they'll sell you dirty water. If they can hack Mother Nature down and imitate her and sell it to you, they will. And so the outcome depends on who we are. Our people in power, primarily who they are and what they're really about. Now, this is what I think the mundane, everyday laymen and women have to come to understand. I believe we are coming to understand. And we're coming to understand what really real wealth is. We are beginning to understand that it's not the clothes nor shoes that we wear, but real wealth is the natural resources that sustain our life. I think that for many generations that reality was not recognized or realized, because that's a big list, a big list of resources, things that we take for granted. Like air is a natural resource. Every single thing, animal or plant that we use in this earth or on this earth for food and substance is a natural resource, whether it's a mushroom or it's a fish in the ocean or a shark or a lobster or a bird from the air or a snake or some type of reptilian. That is a natural resource. Or at least we use it as a natural resource, these living beings. And then water itself and all bodies is natural resources. These are commodities that man, people in power, that's how they got control of us, by seizing control over those natural resources. They understood what real wealth is. And Venus talks about wealth. It is changes in, like you said, the understanding basically of wealth and what it is. And so the general populace is going through this phase of understanding what wealth is. I did a video not too long ago about the doomsday preppers. They are more aware, or have been over the last 10, 15 years, aware of what real resources are. Being a doomsday prepper, you can't take your stilettos and your vet to the underground shelter. No. What would you take to the shelter? If you need to stay down there 5 to 10 years, you're going to take anything down there that's going to help sustain your life. Whether it's a medical supply, food, and water. That's the bare basics. And your family, love and companionship. You know what I'm saying? The only other thing that it seems like doomsday preppers seem to agree on taking, other than those things, do y'all know the one thing that I see as the number one item, other than the basic life-sustaining resources that they store up in them bunkers? It's one item that it seems like they agree on across the board to take with them. Do y'all have any idea? Any idea? Because I would too. I would too. But it seems like the majority of the doomsday preppers that I have seen, witnessed, whether personal or on YouTube or any other, through any other means, is they all take toilet tissue with them. Food, water, food, water. What's the other basics? We need food and water, basically. In the non-essential that they all seem to be taking is tissue. And they are highly concerned with keeping that tissue dry. Or being able to, I'm telling you, because we have lived a particular quality of life. We can't fathom. Oh, I can't fathom. Not with all these little fat rolls. Being hot, sweaty, sticky, and funky. We are egotistical and narcissistic and self-centered and conceited. Me too. And so there are people that entrepreneurs that are creating durable, perfectly cut out, durable tissue paper that is compressed and compacted for the doomsday prepper to be able to store in their shelters. That is a primary issue. So even if we are pushed to the extreme in order to survive, we still have this sense of entitlement and conceit and narcissism. Who are we? Who are we? And say the government about to get washed up. Their time is up. That would be nice if it did. And I hope if the government get washed up, it washed the credit bureau away and all of them associated with it. I really do. That would really be really, really nice. And this is the crazy thing, is that we are, again, going back to being depressed or suffering some type of mental illness like bipolarism. It is associated with all these constraints that are put on us, these demands that are put on us by man, not by God, not by our Creator, but some old dusty man or woman that exists that took seats of power, you know, and so they say that you owe for learning. And this is learning. When I say learning, because had our structure not been put in place, we still would have been moved to learn through life. Life is the ultimate teacher. But okay, we have to go to the universities and we pay all this big money. So we're paying to learn, you know, to learn. And I do believe there are people that, and I don't think we should have to pay. I really don't. They took the tribal life and they again made it big business. The tribal life being big business, because even the doctors, the witch doctors, or the shamans of any particular tribe had an understudy, or what do you call it, an understudy or an intern that they taught. So if they were incapable, or if they needed assistance, or if they were to die out, that knowledge wouldn't die with them, you know. And so we still have the process of teaching and learning, but there was no value stuck to it. It's that value right there that is the issue in the physical world. If you want to learn extensively, you got to pay. What are you paying for? I remember when I was in college, I had a lot of access to various journals. And at that time, I was like, okay, this is so cool. I'm reading stuff that normal people don't get to read. But I didn't know that at the time. I'm reading stuff that normal. I was like, I ain't never heard of this. I mean, the various experiments they do in this world and on people, all this stuff is logged. It's no secret. It's just like it's an oath. It depends on what field of study you are in or expertise you are in. It's some type of oath. And I only, like in my case, had access to certain journals because I was in that particular field of study. But once I came out of college and I wasn't proving myself, I lost access to the use of those journals. And some of them I was interested in diving in and to keep researching and reading and studying. And I come to find out I'm looking up subscriptions. Them subscriptions was high as heck. I want to say I remember one at least being $1,000, at least. You know, I could possibly be wrong with that, but it was an astronomical amount of money to partake in or to be able to use those various journals of the professionals, you know. Again, there's so much being kept from us. Either we pay or we go without. Either we pay or we suffer, you know, and that's what I find unfair. And that those kind of systems are what is seasoning our entrance into the new paradigm. Those kind of systems are what seasoning our ability to provide or satisfy our physical, worldly wants, needs, and desires that ultimately affect us on an emotional level. I mean, it goes deep and it overlaps. That's why I say that it seems like this, like I was agreeing with you, Jordan, that it seems like the system is collapsing. And I'm not just talking about the physical worldly system. I'm talking about whatever this is collapsing because eventually all of this compounded secrets or indiscrepancies, the misleading energy being, especially if you're born into it, it has to be exposed. It has to be exposed. People are waking up, and therefore, because they're waking up, things are being exposed. So eventually, it's going to be so much exposure or uncovering and revealing of the truth and the true structure of this realm and how it has been hijacked, that it is going to have to affect a particular generation and move them to rebel. And I guess that would be somewhat of another live stream, because when you start talking about rebellion, these people in power that had so much time to prepare, because they know, it's like they know, this is another thing I'm seeing, is they know that there is a assigned or an appointed generation that will come into this physical world, learning and being taught the reality of this physical realm. And so the people in power structures will collapse, or it will be debunked. They're already going to be debunked, but they're going to collapse, because these younger generations are going to know that that is not the norm. That was not the natural. And so in no way will they adhere to it. But it doesn't change the fact or the reality that they still have these prerequisites to live. They still need food, water, shelter, and love, and a little space, and air. And so they are going to be willing to fight for it. But this current structure, this current establishment we are in, have known that for a mighty, mighty long time. I do believe that particular generation that's going to be born into awareness exists now. They babies. They babies, or they just not coming in. And so since that our standing system or structure, the commanders and chiefs, the people in positions of power already knew of this generation to come. It almost seems like the story of Jesus Christ. The enlightened ones come again. But this won't just be one. It's going to be a whole generation of enlightened ones. And so our current structure is going to lose their control and power over the population, beginning with a particular generation, the babies now. And because they've had so much time, and because humanity has successfully been able to technologically advance and create various types of non-lethal weapons, I'll trust and believe they are absolutely ready for the rise of the generation. And that goes, and that, I guess that could be a whole separate live stream, identifying the lethal and non-lethal weapons they have prepared to use on the populace. Because the populace is getting furious that they didn't work themselves half to death, or watch their families work themselves half to death, or been contaminated by the various chemicals in order to make other beings wealthy, and only should be cast to the side without health insurance, or people going into the military to defend the country and coming to find out they went to battle for big business, And so people are waking up and they're getting angry. And again, the elitists, the people in power, knew that this day was coming. They knew. And so what am I saying? They are prepared. And this is where I'm saying that this system that we are in, this physical realm, it's got to be about to collapse, because it has to be collapsed, because yes, they may have these lethal and non-lethal weapons that they will turn upon the populace, and the populace will rise up due to the unjust, when we get all our dumb biases and out of the way and everything. But there are so many weapons in place. One of the weapons that is in place, there's a few, that is the primary weapon that the elitists or the highest up have already put in place, are weapons that have to do directly with our basic requisites just to sustain our life. Air. The air is poisonous, it's contaminated. We often hear about people flying and spraying chemtrails. I don't know about that personally. I do see the airplanes, I do see the streams, and I do feel particles in my throat. Are they chemtrails? I don't know, but it's something. So the air is being contaminated. If it ain't about spraying no contaminants into the air, we have so many factories due to our again, our industrial revolution, and now the technological advances and the mass production. And so all burning all these these metals and minerals and substance are contaminating the air. And so what am I saying right here? I'm saying those people in power, those elitists knew this day was coming. They've already set weapons into play in order to annihilate us, starting with our base needed requirements. And the air is one. The next is the water. The water is contaminated. I live in Detroit, which is only about an hour or so from Flint, and I'm suspicious of our water. Really, I am. The water, and I mean, this is just the area that I live in, but across the globe, the waterways are contaminated. The aquatic life is dying out. So that's the second necessary water. They have laws in place where, inner city, you can't dig wells or anything like that, store water. So if you do, then they can call a law on you. And because the law officials want to keep their jobs, they're going to execute the law, even though it may be an unjust law. Are we going somewhere? Are you talking about going into the age of Aquarius and all of this? We got to travel through all of this to get to the final outcome. And then another requisite for life is food, whether it is plant life or we eat beasts. Those foods have been contaminated. We know that they pump the food with various steroids. I'm not even going through the debate if one should eat meat or not. Y'all know what side I'm on. But I'm talking about how the animals are contaminated. We know that they got 3D printers and all kind of stuff. I know I done ate some fake stuff. So that ain't even a debate with me. We also know that like a lot of the seeds have been removed from various vegetables and fruits that traditionally had seeds or an abundance of seeds so that you could replant and reap a harvest abundance. That has been removed, minimized, or debilitated in a way that it doesn't reap fruit. Now, a lot of people, when I make that statement, they want to get a little argumentative and argue back. Oh, yeah, you can find seeds. Oh, yeah, you can plant and grow them. Yes, you can. But there is a limited amount of yield you will get back. They're not going to just let you know that they are weaponizing or taking away from. They're not going to let you know that, yeah, you can go out here and plant a few little community gardens or whatever. The farmers will have the larger majority in order to, and to plant and to grow. But I'm talking about when the government say, we ain't doing it no more. We got all that we need. And then we go to try to sustain ourselves. What waterways do we sustain ourselves? What water ain't contaminated? See, all of this we got to move through in order to get to the final outcome that lays on the other side of that new paradigm. We got to move through all of this. The food itself. Hey, if ain't no seeds, government pull back their storage of seeds or do what they're doing in California and other places, burning up all the terrain. So what? You can't plant nothing on there. At least not for, I don't forget how many years it takes for the ground to replenish itself and be ready for replenish and ready for replanting. It takes some years. And so what was I saying in one of my last streams? They getting a jump start by burning up these territories. We know also that a lot of our people in power, they have subterranean caverns. I talked about in my doomsday prepping rant. And one thing that I realized, I said, now, I've had some experience in my life, that over this whole entire globe, there are certain sectors that are restricted from visiting or going to, for whatever excuses or reasons they make up, officials make up. And then there are sectors that are deemed for condensed populations. There are sectors for this and that. Understand that some of those sections that have been restricted are sections that have never been drilled in. None of the natural resources have been removed from that land. Not never. And why is that the case? It is to make sure that that land is stable. Stable. You always hear me talking about how this earth has to readjust herself, all the flooding, the landslides, the pitfalls, all that's the earth readjusting herself. But there are certain areas that are less likely to have any disturbances because that land itself hasn't been disturbed or gutted out. Are you bringing me something good to eat?
No, I'm looking for the pacifier. She just jumped up out of her sleep crying.
I don't have. I have one.
Well, give here.
You got to wash it off. They don't leave me alone prior to it's all be and I'm ready for it to end. Me too. This stuff is annoying. Part 2. And that's another thing. I also feel like my illusion is gone. It's gone. I came up thinking, I could be anything I wanted to be. I came up thinking, I'm going to get married. I'm going to have 2.5 kids. How you have 2.5 kids? I don't know. The house with the white picket fence, the car, the Volvo. We going to go on trips. I'm seeing people in my community do that. I'm seeing my family do that. It's Christmas. Oh, my God. The aesthetics and the environment around the holiday. I was in love. From Halloween, I've always been a person on and running. I celebrated every holiday. Full force, full decoration. And full commitment, baby. I was that person that went to people's house caroling, even when it got bad. To find out, after all that time, it was a lie. And it was a long, I can't lie, it was a long time ago that I started seeing that a lot of what I had learned was a lie. But what did I have to replace it with? And since everybody else was doing it, I'm like, okay. But since I was a young girl, everything that I ever known has changed. Everything. That takes some adjusting. So when I was a kid, I was all happy. Go lucky, stupid, naive and stuff. And as my reality was destroyed, crumbling, as you say, I went to that sad space. And then, like I said, I thought I was by myself in it. I didn't realize that was a growing trend, that common people had gotten so conscious and aware that our constructs we had created or lived up under, again, they were deteriorating. And at one time they were so strong, they governed like the community I was in. Tradition governed the community I was in. But then a time came that wasn't sufficient enough. Not for anybody. I watched everything change. The people, like even during the holiday. Like I said, I've lived in Detroit all of my life. Have I visited outside Detroit? Yes, many times. But my primary home base is Detroit. It was a time like during Thanksgiving. It was beautiful, off the chain. We were community. We cooked together. We lived together. We loved together. Come Christmas, it was like Candy Stick Lane anywhere you went, up and down my block. Halloween, all I had to do was walk from one corner to the other, and I had a pillowcase full of food. Everybody was harmonious and getting along, but all of that faded away. I watched these people in my immediate environment from the moment I grew up until the last few years, because I don't reside in that environment anymore. Their faces went from smiling to sadness. It went from happiness and content and being fulfilled because all of the basic requirements were met. It was a struggle, I'm sure, for the adults. I'm looking through child's eyes, but I watched them party and dance and get dressed up. I don't remember seeing nobody stressing like they are now. I don't remember that. I had to be about 9 years old or 10 years old when I ever heard of somebody committing suicide. It was a young guy down the street, and I think some young lady had broke his heart. But that was the first time I ever heard about that. I didn't even know about that. I never knew, again, that my mom was a part of the poor working class as a single mom. I didn't know that because I lived a life that I felt like I was a princess every day of my life, And even though my mom and dad weren't together, he still bought me everything I wanted. He took me wherever I wanted. I could talk to them about whatever, you know. And so what am I talking about all that for? I'm talking about how my reality has changed in the 48 years I've been here. And that was disheartening. And I've had to come to terms with that. And here I sit today doing this live stream saying, what is happiness? Can I sustain it, or am I doing something wrong? And in order to answer that question, I look at the sadness that I've suffered, that I've seen other people suffer. It don't last always. So how are we supposed to be? And then it's this understanding once again that our emotional mood swings depend on our quality of life, or what we have going on in this physical realm. Right now, it appears that globally, everybody's reality is being deconstructed. So, I always pose this question here on my channel. Since our old reality is being deconstructed across the board, what is being structured? What is the paradigm we will live in? Jordan shares the vision that he sees. That's the one I'm hoping for. But what ends up being constructed fully relies on who we are as a people and what we find important and what we end up investing in. Understanding that emotional response, those emotional response that we have, will follow us into the new paradigm. When I was a kid, I seen folks smiling. They was happy. They was in love. I didn't hear all this fighting and cussing and shooting and And then as the reality started to decay, because it's been decaying a long time. See, it's been sped up and people are paying attention now. It was decaying when I was a kid. I was like, well, what happened to this? Mama, what happened to that? You know, I can't sit on no porch all night long. All night, no more in the summer. Not after 1980 something years old. 1980, when the crack came in. Nope, you can't sit on the porch all night long and eat and watch TV in the summertime. Nope, you can't come on in here and shut and lock the door. And set down the blinds, put bars on the window. There was something changing. So while I'm happy all fat on the porch, eating and drinking and watching TV on the porch and talking to my friends, they can't come off the porch like, how you doing? What you doing? Can't do that no more. Nope, we was in the house behind bars. Yep. What happened to us? I was happy on that porch smiling. But behind them bars, in that house, tucked away, got sad. I was sad. I ended up suffering from depression in my late teens, you know. And so I know I'm just rambling. This was what it was about. This was the live stream. It was about me rambling. So what y'all talking about? Even an abuser hates low self-esteem. Yep. An abuser does hate low self-esteem. And anybody that abuses a person and that person lets them abuse them continuously without putting up no fight, trying to get the hell out of there and mean what they say, that abuser gets furious with them, hateful of them. Hi, Shrish. Granny hungry. You gonna cook for Granny? Come show everybody. Show everybody. You a shit. Say, say, Daddy, I just been going through it. This is my baby. She didn't grow up. She didn't lost her little hair, but that's okay. That's my baby. Yeah. Say hi. Say hi, you two people. Okay, well, you don't want to talk. That's fine. It says, this place is a fucking, excuse me, nightmare. Love is a problem. Gross. Okay. I feel like, did that go? Oh, I've been talking and it's been stopped and see, just be, is that for me? Oh yeah, y'all, it's time to go. Do I get ketchup?
I mean, I eat it with ketchup and it was amazing without it.
I would love to have some ketchup. I just want to be taken care of, loved, and appreciated. This plate, I feel like it's a divide between empaths and narcissists. Yep. Yep.
I know.
That's that part. An angel. Yeah. Oh, she's cute. Yeah.
You gonna tell Danny about your bad dream?
You had a bad dream?
It looked like it.
I'm going to have to kick butt. I'm going to activate my superpowers. They don't want me to do that. We can't tell them what our superpowers are, can we? They can't know that.
Mama, she gonna want your fries.
No, she going to have to get off my lap. And I'm going to get off here on YouTube so I can eat my homemade French fries with everything on them. Oh, they love me right now. You got candy? You love candy? I like candy. Just a little bit.
Look at her looking at your fries.
Don't look at my French fries. That's right. Get on. She looking at my French fries, y'all.
She's so serious about your fries.
Look, about to throw a tantrum too. Bye, baby. Get out. This is for me. We ain't cool like that.
She sound like a fat person.
Uh-huh. She looking over your shoulder too. She wants some.
You a fat
Okay.
woman?
Bye-bye. Konnichiwa. Arrivederci. And bon voyage. The same to you all. Thank you for coming here and visiting me here at Can Angels Fly Tarot Live. Again, I invite you to partake in this half off sale that is offered during this weekend. There, of course, are limited spaces. And my email is canangelsflytarot1@gmail.com. That was When Love is a Problem. That's insanity. Sure enough is, ain't it? We are living, it seems like, in an increasingly sane world. I love you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for spending this time with me. Good night. I got to eat my French fries, y'all.